Great morning to you. Today we are going to be talking about how to effectively communicate with your child, the parent-child communication. You ever know that one time where you say something and your child breaks down into a meltdown and you're left going, what did I do? What did I say? Well, we're going to talk about that today. And before I pass it on over to Tom, well, first of all, we're Bonnie and
Thomas Leota.
We are the founders of Creating Champions for Life, and we teach parents how to speak the same language as their child and how to make proactive family success plans so you can live together in more peace, harmony, happiness, togetherness with teamwork, respect, cooperation, and gratitude. All right. So I want to share a story, Tom, really quickly.
I like stories.
Yeah. When I was just first learning to speak kid, I didn't realize that my 10-year-old, saw the world differently than me, or used words differently than I would use them. I just kind of thought, well, they can speak English now and I can speak English, so they must know everything that I'm saying. And so this one time, my daughter was about 11 years old and she was talking to me about her friends making out. And thank goodness that I had this lesson, because I would have just thought the adult version of making out. I had the most horrid images show up on the screen in my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're only 11. They're making out. So I just took a deep breath and I asked her what making out meant. And she's like, well, holding hands. All right. So talk about this a little bit, Tom, because the strategy that you're going to teach today is a great strategy, but it kind of goes along with some of the other ones that we've been talking about last couple of weeks, like knowing our role as parents and understanding parents' brain versus kids' brain. So it kind of ties everything together. But this is something that you could actually listen to today and go and use and notice right away that you'll have more effective communication.
Yeah, you'll be actually going in the right direction. You see, this one here is my principle number 9, module 9 as we call it, question and quantify. You see, what Bonnie did was she heard something that a child would have been echoing back. Oh, we're making out, or there was kids there making out. Well, my goodness, we have a lifelong experience, usually 3, 4, 5 times longer than what our little genius offsprings have. And what does making out bring up? A positive or negative thought? Well, usually it's defaulted to negative. So you think the worst case scenario. Over my dead body is my little 11-year-old is going to be making out at a party
Yeah.
or swapping spit with some kid I don't know.
You're not hanging out with them anymore.
Right? We automatically go into that protective, right? The mama bear, right? You can't, don't, and won't. And so if we were to echo back, it'd be like, okay, I heard the word make out.
This is the strategy. It's called what? What's it called? That you're talking, you're going into it now, but we might say it so fast that they miss it. So what is it called?
Quantify.
Question and quantify, which is what I did when Kira said making out. I questioned and quantified her meaning. Okay.
All right.
Echo back.
Sometimes these are so simple. They go right over our head because we're so conditioned to see the negative side, or we've been in that same rut. But think about it. Question and quantify. They go hand in hand with the conjunction of and. So question, what is making out, Kira? You see, we had that jingle should start to get stuck in your head. How far can you go without saying yes or no? Just question. What is making out? Now, Bonnie had a vision of, okay, this ain't going to happen.
Yikes. My kid's going to get pregnant at 11.
Now, she said, well, mommy, making out is where two people hold hands. So she questioned, and then there's a quantifying. It'd be like, oh my gosh, my idea, the way I've been trained making out is this. The way they were, right, was holding hands. Oh my gosh, how silly Willy card would I've had to play acting on that false information when in reality it would be like, well, yeah, holding hands
cute.
and this case, making out is actually part of the life skills learning ship of relationships. So question and quantify is what she did. And what was the difference when you use this versus what it would have been?
Oh, so I asked her and she's like, oh, holding hands. And I'm like, okay. I thought you were meaning that they were kissing. And she goes, ew, gross,
yeah,
Mom.
Like, what is
how
that?
did you even go there? And I want to give another example too, because I remember when Jenny used to say, oh, you're weird, or that's weird. And I have my own, version of what weird means, right? So I took it kind of personally, like, what do you mean I'm weird? I'm a good person. And so I finally asked her, what do you mean by weird? She goes, oh, just different. So it wasn't weird, like you're a weirdo, get away from me. It was just different than what she was used to. So
could even be another word of unique. Different meaning different.
Yeah.
Right? But
they never meant it in a bad way.
No.
That's the whole point. So, some of us get really angry when our kids are saying things like, you're the worst mom. I hate you. They say these words and we receive it as how we would say it, right? Like we think that they see the world the same way we do. Well, oftentimes they are repeating something that they've heard from somewhere else. They heard it from their siblings. They heard it on a show or something, even using the F word or swear words when they're little. Maybe they heard it on a movie somewhere. So I guess the point is to have a more effective communication with your child is understanding that they can't possibly see the world the same way you do because they only have 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years of experience where you might have 20, 30, 40, or like us, almost 50 years of experience on this planet.
So here's what you'll be experiencing moving forward when you use some of these little bite-sized cookies type of experience. Because remember, there's 12 principles and they're like a chain, right? They're all linked together. You use them all to speak the language fluently. But in question and quantify, instead of just jumping to conclusions of what you assume because you're thinking that it's negative, ask a question to get their perspective to quantify before you move forward. This would also go with that time-tested truth of look before you leap.
Yeah. And really it is about our eyes too, and cleaning off our lenses and looking at our kids instead of looking at them like terrible twos. We got to start looking at them as if they're terrific twos. And, teenage rebellion is like teenage independence. So it's our job to help them reach their goals, help them become more independent. It's our job, not theirs, to learn how to effectively communicate with them so that we can show them the way to a happy, healthy life.
Yeah. So until we meet again, here's to your parenting success. Cheers.
Bye for now.